This week we have Dwight Schrute from The Office up against Nick Miller from New Girl.
Nick Miller from the streets of Chicago. Players play like they do, like they did.
Whatever that was.
You don't know? That's my favorite quote from that whole fucking series. Yeah.
I don't. I bad memory. Sorry.
Come on.
Andy.
Yeah.
I want you to start us off.
Okay, so this is an interesting matchup. But the thing that I was kind of saying off mic before we started recording was that if you look at it, both of these guys, they're really fueled by passion and emotion in their decision making, and we can so Dwight, who may
why did you just laugh like that?
Because you
were
muted,
no,
and you were obviously talking to something off screen.
I think that he was mouthing words to the shoe rack. Like, he was, like, mouthing to the shoe rack.
I'm still kind of caught up on the shoe rack. All right, Andy, take us away.
So, Dwight may think himself to be a more logical guy, but I think if we really take a look at it, some of his biggest decisions are made on a whim, you know? And a lot of the stuff that he does is just kind of in, like, while he's caught up in the thralls of passion. And Nick Miller is completely emotional. Like when he's trying to open doors.
Why are you laughing so hard?
Because Alex is so clearly looking at someone.
All right, I'm just going to clear up the air right now. We're going drinking after this, and one of our buddies just showed up. Okay. He just asked us where the bottle opener was, so we were just telling him where it was. I'm just going to clear the air right now. No more laughs out of hand.
That's all that we needed. That's all that we needed. It's so much better than thinking you guys are being held hostage. You're already in
not going to go sit in my room. Yeah, no, our hostage is trying to break their chains, and we need to make sure that they relax.
But that's a joke.
FBI, if you're listening, we're joking. And if you are listening, we live on Danielle Drive.
Not the time to joke about it, because you guys look like you're literally in Osama bin Laden's compound. And you're looking off screen all shifty-eyed, talking about hostages.
Okay, well, back again. I know.
Snowden, sit down.
Eddie!
So, back to the Who Would Win of the Week. Somebody's got to keep us on track. Clearly, it's neither of you two.
Snowden versus Dwight Schrute.
Here's the thing about Dwight Schrute versus Nick Miller. And Alex and I talked about this a bit before. They both act, and you kind of just mentioned it, they both act on pure emotion, even though Dwight is the type of person who acts like he doesn't, right? Dwight thinks he's this mental genius, and actually he is what some people would consider just a whack job, right? So another thing about Dwight is that Dwight, being as emotional as he is, but thinking that he's not, thinks that he is this master kind of at everything, right? He talks about how, like, when he gets his black belt, it took him, $120,000 in 20 years or something to get a black belt. Do you know? I mean, not that it's easy to get a black belt, not offending any black belts here, but it doesn't take, so it's kind of clear that as much as he thinks he is this one thing, he's actually this other thing. Whereas Nick Miller knows exactly what he is. He's very open about the fact that oftentimes he considers himself just a large piece of trash in a sense, right? But the way that his emotion works, I feel like in a fighting situation against Dwight, and even as dumb as people may think Nick Miller is, he ultimately does have a plan, as you would find out if you were to read his idea notebook. So I think that in this case, I do give Nick Miller an advantage because I think that although he does also act off of pure emotion, he's still more fit to battle, whereas Dwight would think that he's all ready and he would just go in there and do something hysterically stupid. And Dwight also relies heavily on weapons, and everybody knows that Who Would Win of the Week is a no weapons podcast. It's more of a bare knuckle brawl kind of situation. So I'm not locking my answer in yet because there's a lot of points to be made still, but I do think that Nick Miller, as of right now, has the advantage.
All right, so we got two Nick Millers here, right?
I have not. I have
No,
not
neither
decided.
of us. No,
Well,
so
I haven't
You
said.
guys can't even make a decision.
I do.
'cause
Well,
don't-
you
actually,
don't
I
lock
have
in your answer.
decided, but I
Yeah.
haven't said before.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're really confident. But
No, I
there's
mean,
a
yeah,
lot of
I'm
points.
confident.
Okay.
I don't need to hear everybody's arguments like you guys. But
Sure, like a
so
rational
just to
person.
remind myself of the rules, this is a bare knuckles fight,
Yeah.
right?
No
Like
weapons.
you guys are going, you're grabbing both these sitcom characters, you're getting them in a ring,
Yeah.
you're checking
Well,
them.
there's a little bit. Sometimes we do alter the rules, but in this situation, I would say running on the street, right? It's
All
a
right.
running on the street type situation.
Running on the street.
Neither
All right.
of them are.
I don't care
Wait.
if you're running it on the street. I don't care if you are taking Dwight Schrute and fucking checking him, patting him down. This dude snuck a weapon in. Nick Miller's dead in 15 seconds. And it's going to be on a documentary camera, so it's going to look sick. You guys can say all you want, there's not going to be any weapons involved, but you can see even in the Office episode where he fights Andy, they said no weapons. No, Toby goes around and grabs weapons. The dude still has weapons. The dude always got weapons. Nick Miller's dead, and Nick Miller and Dwight Schrute are kind of like the same thing, where like they act really impulsively and then they just kind of go crazy and look stupid. But Dwight's got old man strength too. Don't forget that. Like, sure, like Nick's like an older guy, but Dwight has like you know like when
He's
you
in
go
his
to fight.
30s.
I feel
Yeah,
like
but
Nick
Dwight's
also
like
has
old.
old man
Like
strength.
Dwight's
though.
like when you go to fight your dad and you're like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm gonna beat your ass today," and it's like, then you remember like shit, like this guy's old and he's got
Right.
old man strength. Like Dwight wins 10 of 10.
See,
He
I
probably
think-
snuck a weapon into wherever you are. If it's running on the street, he's definitely got like a hunting knife in his boot. He's gonna gut you.
Mhm.
He's gonna hang you from your toes, and he's gonna make beef jerky out of you.
I do
No.
think that this is an instance where it's true that Dwight would find a way to get a weapon in there no matter what.
See, but yeah, maybe okay. So given
All right,
I
so
just
now
think
he
that there's
has-
no
No,
avoiding
You
that.
basically just agreed.
if you take the okay, but
Like if these two guys
Fight
are
is
both
about
naked,
no
Dwight's
weapon.
gonna pull
The
something
fight
out
is
of his ass or
planned.
something.
like the concept of
I'm saying if you go no weapons, even like the dude's got old man strength. He
but
won.
so does Nick. That
Yeah,
theory
Nick
has
definitely
no
has
logic.
old man
Nick
strength,
has old man
without a
strength
doubt.
too.
No.
Yes, he
hasn't
does.
reached- No, he
Yes,
hasn't
he
reached
does.
peak old man strength.
Yes, he
yet.
does. Dude,
No.
you hit. That's when you hit old man strength. The second you hit 30,
I don't know
you
the
could never
science of
worked out a
when
day
you
in your
hit
life
old
you
man
could
strength exactly, but I do know that Nick Miller definitely has it.
Old man
Like
strength.
without a
If
doubt.
anybody in that
Without
house
a
would
doubt.
have old man
Nick
strength,
Miller
would be
has
that.
that like old like 40s boxer where he's like
I
not
don't
in
know if
shape
the
but
new
he's
girl
still very
they ever-
strong.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if a new girl they ever go over people's ages, but
No,
I'm saying like if I had to guess, like Nick worked like a hard labor job for like a few years before he went to college with Schmidt, and he's definitely at least like 5 years older than everybody.
We know
I'm-
that
no,
that's
okay.
not true though. From the show.
I'm just gonna say real quick too. I've watched season 4. I'm like halfway through season 3. There was a weird thing that happened where Matthew was switching around my new girl account, and so I had to watch it out of order. So I've watched 1, 2, half of 3. I've watched almost all of 4, and I'm making my way through it now. Because I'm like an Office till I die kind of person. Like I'll watch that over and over and over and over again.
Mhm.
what do you think, Andy?
I'm locked in on Dwight Schrute.
So here's the thing. Nick Miller has this like he grew up fighting with his brothers and he has he's very much got a chip on his shoulder, right? And I think that type of ruggedness is something that would legitimately intimidate Dwight. I think that that type of anger would definitely make Dwight nervous because it's so unpredictable. And I think, Dwight, he does deal with a lot of animals and stuff, which can be unpredictable. But I think that in a fight scenario, he's used to the predictable, be it in his black belt classes or when he was fighting with Andy or anybody in the office or whatever. And also, regardless of if he does know what they're going to do in that situation, he definitely thinks he knows what they're going to do in that situation. But Nick Miller is a straight up wild card. And the old man strength. And I feel like Nick Miller is a guy where he would be so angry and so full of adrenaline that when Dwight did pull that hidden weapon out of his asshole, and get Nick with it, that Nick would not stop. It would only make him angrier, and he would be able to finish Dwight off. So I think I am going to take Nick Miller.
This isn't a sex competition. They're fighting each other.
Yes, and I think that.
Oh, let's see who he's going to take, because now I'm curious.
Yeah,
It depends on which way I'm going to pounce.
I think that I am going to take Nick Miller. I think that he's got it.
This is a classic Canada's ganging up against the Bauer.
No, because Andy and I never agree. But here's the thing:
is that it happens every time. Go on. No, go on.
Dwight. I just think that when it came down to it, Dwight's naive. Like, he's naive, and you see that in the way that he gets tricked, and that is why he's so confident in his ability to do these things that the show proves that he genuinely cannot do in most circumstances. And I think when it comes down to, you look at the way that they're both emotional and how they do things and act impulsively, as Alex said, but Alex's theory with the old man strength has no relevance because they're both had it.
Yeah.
No. And I think that at the end of the day, Dwight's almost overconfidence compared to Nick Miller's I don't give a fuck attitude. Nick Miller's just going to go spazzy. And Dwight's going to be just as spazzy, but he's going to think that he knows what he's doing, and it's going to bite him in the ass.
And I think that Dwight is going to panic very easily once he starts to get backed into a corner.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Think about this. I mean, given he did just have appendix issues, he got his ass kicked by Jim pretty much.
No.
In Tallahassee?
No, you're both wrong. You're both wrong.
Do you have any? Well, go ahead and say something else to prove your point. But
Alex doesn't need facts to prove an argument.
Because there's no point in me arguing this. Like, this is a classic. Canada's ganging up on me, and there's nothing that's gonna change this. So I'm just gonna let it be how it is.
I disagree. Here's exactly, and I say this every time. This is exactly why you have a point in arguing this. Is because at the end of the day, the ultimate vote of who would win of the week is up to the listeners.